Dear students, this is 11th Zoology Higher Secondary First Year, Chapter 2, Kingdom Animalia. Today we are going to start new chapter, Chapter 2, Kingdom Animalia. Kingdom Animalia, Part 1. What is kingdom? Kingdom is one of the taxa. We can say taxon. As you have learned in lower classes, kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, species. So these are all called as a taxa, or we can say taxon. So that is a taxa of the kingdom animal. Kingdom. So the kingdom Animalia compresses millions of animal species. Millions of animal species, and studying them without a basic classifications may lead to confusions. So if you want to study any animal species, or if you want to study any animal species without basic classifications, so that may leads to confusion. In addition to this, there are several new species of animals being constantly discovered. So without being basic classifications, if you study any animals means it leads to confusion. So there are several species of animal being constantly discovered. So regularly, constantly, a new species have been discovered. The classification is very essential for identification, naming, and assigning a systematic position to a newly discovered species. So market define classifications. Classification is very essential for identification, naming, and assigning a systematic position to the newly discovered species. That is, we call as a classifications. Animal kingdom is classified mainly based on the closely resembling characteristic features. So here, animal kingdoms are classified based upon the closely resembling characteristic features. What is closely resembling characters? The characters which are same, which is very near to that other animals. Okay. Kingdom Animalia is characterized of eukaryotic. Kingdom Animalia is a special characteristic is the one eukaryotic. What do you mean by eukaryotic? The animal which have well-known defined nucleus, that is because of eukaryotic. Multicellular. You know what I mean by multicellular? Heterotropic organisms. So these are the characteristics of kingdom Animalia. So here they include 35 phyla, of which 11 are considered as a major phyla. They'll ask you one word, just take your textbook and just underline. There are 35 phyla there. Among the 35, only 11 phyla are considered as a major phyla. And almost 99% of animals, almost 99% of animals are invertebrates. So almost about 99% of animals are invertebrates. What do you mean by invertebrates? They're given here. The animals have without backbone. Animals which do not have backbone, they called as a invertebrates. The remaining represents. So 99% are invertebrate. That is because animals without backbone. The remaining represents are vertebrates animals. What is vertebrates animals? Animals which have backbone, they are called as a vertebrates. So on the basis of presence or absence of notochord, on the basis of presence or maybe absence of notochord, notochord that is a become as a vertebral column. Notochord is the one cord like structures, string like structures. Okay. Due on the basis of presence or absence of notochords, animals also categorized into two major groups. They are non-chordates and chordates. They are non-chordates and chordates. And here, basis of classifications. What is that one? Basis of classifications. Multicellular organisms are structurally and functionally different, but yet they have certain common fundamental features. Multicellular organism is the organism which are made up of many cells. They call as a multicellular organism. They are structurally as well as functionally different, but yet they possess certain common fundamental features. What are the certain fundamental common features means? The arrangements of cells layers. Arrangements of cells layers. The level of organization, nature of coelom, the presence or absence of segmentations, notochord, and the organization of organ system. So these are the certain common fundamental features the multicellular animals they have. Okay, the next topic is the one level of organization. Next topic is the one level of organization. What does it means? Level of organization means all members of kingdom Animalia are metazoans. So the members of kingdom Animalia belongs to metazoans. What is metazoans? Animals which made up of multicellular animals. That is, we also metazoans. Metazoan animals because of multicellular animals and exhibits different patterns of cellular organizations. Exhibit different pattern of cellular organizations. The cells of metazoans are not capable of independent existence and exit divisions of labor. Whereas the multicellular animals, they are incapable. They are not capable. That's they say as incapable of independent existence. They cannot exist independently, and they exhibit divisions of labor. So instead of doing one work separately, they just divide that work. They join together and just they divide. That is, they say as a exhibit divisions of labor. Which one? The multicellular organism or metazoans. Among the metazoans, cell may be functionally isolated. Among metazoans, cells may be functionally isolated, or similar kinds of cells may be grouped together to form tissue, organ, and organ systems. So among the metazoans, the cell may be functionally isolated, or similar kinds of cells may be grouped together to form tissue, organ system. And cellular level of organization. Cellular level of organization. This basic level of organization is seen in sponge. So the basic level of organization. One word, just take your textbook, just underline. The cells in the sponge are arranged as a loose aggregate and do not form tissue. So the cells in sponge, they are loosely arranged and they do not form tissue. Which one? The sponge. That they exhibit cellular level of organization. They exhibit cellular level of organization. There is division of labor among the cells. There is division of labor among the cells, and different types of cells are functionally isolated. So divisions of labor they'll undergo, and different types of cells they functionally isolated. In sponge, the outer layer is formed. In sponge, the outer layer is formed of pinacocytes. What is that one? Pinacocytes. What does that mean? What is the function of these pinacocytes? Which means plate-like cells that maintain the size and structural of structure of sponge. They'll ask you what are the functions of pinacocytes. It's a plate-like cells maintain size and structure of the sponge, and inner layers of form choanocytes. They'll ask you differentiate between pinacocytes. The pinacocytes, they form outer layer. The choanocytes, they form inner layer. So these are flagellated collar cells. These are flagellated collar cells that create and maintain water flow through the sponge. So what is the function of the inner layer of choanocytes? Means they are flagellated collar cells. They create and maintain water flow through the sponge. So thus facilitating the respiratory and digestive functions. These two things very important one. Just mark it out. Differentiate between pinacocytes, choanocytes. The pinacocytes are formed outer layer. Choanocytes are formed inner layer. The function they'll ask you. The next topic is the one tissue level of organization. What is that one? Tissue level of organization. In some animals, cells that perform similar functions are aggregated to form tissues. In some animals, the cells that perform similar function, they join together, they form a tissue. The cells of tissue is integrate in a highly coordinated fashions to perform common functions. So the cells of tissue, they join together, they coordinate together and perform some common functions. Due to presence of nerve cells and sensory cells, they perform common functions. Okay, this tissue level of organization is exhibited in diploplastic animals. Underline, this tissue level of organization exhibit in diploplastic animals like cnidarian. What is that one? C will come in silence. Cnidarian. The formations of tissue is the first steps towards evolutions of body plan in animals. So the formation of tissue is the first steps towards evolutions of body plan in animals. Example, Hydra, that's a Coelenterata. An organ level of organizations. Different kinds of tissues aggregate means joint or put together. Different kinds of tissue just join together to form an organ to perform specific functions. To perform specific functions. Organ level of organization. Organ level of organization. Different kinds of tissue join to form an organ to perform specific functions. What they say here, so different kinds of tissue, they join together, form an organ. So that organ performs some specific functions. Organ level of organization is further advancement over the tissue level of organizations and appears for the first time in phylum Platyhelminthes and seen in other phyla. The next topic is the one organ system level of organization. The most efficient and highest level of organization among the animals is exhibited by flatworms, nematoda, annelida, arthropods, mollusca, echinodermata, and chordata. So these are the most efficient and highest level of organization among the animals. The evolutions of mesoderms in these animals has led to their structural complexity. What does evolution mean? The development, the change as occurs from ancient time till the modern time. That is what we call as evolutions. The evolutions of mesoderm. Mesoderm means that is one of the layer which forms during embryonic development. Mesoderm means middle layer. In these animals has led to their structural complexity. So structurally somewhat seems to be complicated one. The tissue are organized to form organ and organ system. A group of cells they form tissue, the group of tissue they form organ and organ system. Each system is associated with specific functions. Each system is associated with some specific functions and show organ system level of organizations. And show organ system of level of organization. With this, we'll wind up our class. We'll continue this one into this topic into next class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Okay, bye. Take care.